Yeah, I know I'm super, super late, okay? And I don't even have an excuse. I, honest to goodness, just watched this show, and because something in my soul told me that this was going to be a filler episode, and that is exactly what it was. So, with that being said, I'm here to give you my take on this filler episode of The Haves and the Have Nots. Yeah, this is season 5, episode 24, titled The Black Dress, okay? We already knew by that title it was gonna be Veronica in the black dress because she plotting all season, okay? Um, I'm a little disappointed because this was a filler episode, but I'm gonna give y'all what I can give y'all. But before we dig into it, if this is your first time on my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I promise you won't be disappointed. I will bring you great commentary. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for staying up with me. I really, really, really appreciate it. Okay, so reason why we're here, okay? The episode starts off rather dramatic. Like it's really gonna give us something this week. Veronica is playing the piano off key, okay? I don't know what song she was playing, but it sounded like dark notes all over the place, okay? While she's playing this piano, she has this like evil look in her eye, okay? At this point, she's thinking back on like the explosion. I guess she's imagining it in her head because as we know, like she didn't actually see the explosion. Okay, so whatever the case, simultaneously at the same time, David is being rushed through the hospital. At this point, he is on a stretcher. He has like black burn marks on his back, and the doctors are trying to get him to calm down. But as soon as he came to, like his conscious thoughts, he's thinking to himself, like, oh my gosh, where's Erica? So he starts yelling it out loud. At this point, we know that, like, dude, you're in a lot of pain, but he's operating off an adrenaline rush right now because he needs to know where his boo is, okay? And his boo, we already had her funeral services last week because she's done, okay? Literally done, okay? Fully cooked, baked. What's the broiled? Yeah, broiled cooks faster. That's what she is. Okay, so the doctors is like, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. What is your name? And he's like, David Harrington. And they're like, okay, sir, you're really gonna have to calm down. Do you feel any pain anywhere else besides the obvious places? And he's like, oh, in my legs. And I'm like, oh my God, Lord Jesus, please don't let him be paralyzed because David is already a boring character. Like, there's no way I could go, like, him being paralyzed for, like, the rest of the series. Like, that's just, like, crazy. Like, come on now. He got to get back at Veronica, okay? So, next thing you know, we see Veronica finally stops playing the piano, and she gets on her burner phone and calls the hitman, okay? As soon as he picks up the phone, he says, done. And she was like, okay, great, done. She takes the SIM card out the phone, crushes it, destroys it. As if this is not her first time, into some shady business, right? Okay, so next thing you know, Veronica just floats to her room. Like, she is happy, okay? And she goes to her room, goes in her closet, pulls out a black dress, and y'all know, like, one of those church hats or, like, funeral hat. It's like a half a hat. She had the little lace in front. She's like, yes, okay. She gets in front of the mirror, holds it up, and she's like practicing her crying face. Like, oh my gosh, my husband, my husband. And I'm like, girl, you are such an actress, okay? First of all, everybody knew you couldn't stand him in real life, so everybody gonna know you faking. So, like, you ain't even gotta practice all this. Okay, whatever. So then we see Benny and Gia still at the bar, okay? Remember from the last episode, Candice gave her instructions to make sure that she keeps Benny occupied at the hotel because Candice and Malik, which is like, what's her face? Candice's kind of hitman that's supposed to rough up Hannah. They got to go take care of Hannah. But Benny can't come into the equation because she don't want Benny to get hurt, okay? So Benny is like, all right, okay, like, I really gotta go now. And Gia's like, no, don't go. Like, I was really enjoying spending my time with you. And he's like, okay, well, look, just give me your number and I'll give you a call. And I'm like, Benny, okay, he is kind of used to women throwing themselves at him at this point. So he's a little arrogant, okay? He could have been a little bit more, like, gentleman-like, but Gia always gets played because she always comes off super thirsty because she's acting, okay? She's trying, like, way too hard. Okay, so next thing you know, she's like, no, I don't want you to go. And he puts his number in her phone. And then she's like, do you really have to go? You know, just still playing this little game with him. Okay. So then she suggests that she has a great view from her room that she would hate to have to go look at alone. And Benny is like, well, you must have heard about me because, you know, I don't turn down no, you know, free rendezvous, should I say, okay? And so I ain't gotta buy you lunch. I ain't gotta do nothing. Like, oh, we going there? Oh, okay. Well, that might get me to stay. And then he was like, look, I got a lot going on right now. She was like, but not too much to get a massage. And I'm like, girl, okay, I'll get to it. So then she's like, I'm really good at it too. And I'm like, girl, you talking about a massage or you talking about more than a massage, okay? And you're supposed to be an informant. But in real life, you're a little too good at this escort job, okay? Like, what did you do in your past life? Whatever. So then she kind of touches his leg and she's like, are you sure you have to go? And then Benny is like, well, I am a little stressed out, but I'm gonna let you know right now I only got 30 minutes. The arrogance kicking in. So she's like, cool, that's all I need. Okay, perfect. So then she checks in with Candice to let Candice know that she texts her and says, I can't hold him, gotta take him to my room. So Candice, being like overprotected big sister, she's like, do not sleep with him, okay? Now, mind you, I don't know if Candice doesn't want her to sleep with him because like she's just been protected big sister or because she's had Gia sleep with so many other people. It's kind of disgusting, like, to have her then sleep with your brother, right? Right. Okay, so then Gia says, okay. And Candice is like, girl, I mean it. And Gia is like, okay, I won't. I'll keep you posted. And I'm like, girl, I already knew through that text message she was lying, okay? Because Benny, he ain't the sharpest tool in the shed, but he the most polished one, okay? He's a fine little thing, and he can't say no, okay? And we later on saw what happened with them, okay? So, next thing you know, Candice calls Veronica, okay? She tells Veronica, I need to talk to you. So, Veronica, right off the back, is like, look, I did what I had to do, okay? Candice is like, girl, what you talking about? And so, Veronica said, well, what did you call me for? Candice was like, no, what are you talking about? Veronica says, what do you want? Okay, so then at that point, Candice asked Veronica about like the bank account that she created for her, if she can contact the bank account and they can reverse the transfer that she made to another account. We know that other account is Benny's account. Veronica is like, I highly doubt that I'll be able to do that. I mean, I can move mountains, but I can't do that. I'm not about to, you're calling me because you want me to clean up your mess because, like, you're stupid. And the thing about it is that you're so dumb because at the same time, you think you're so clever and you're not. Like, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do to help you. Actually, I'm not sorry, okay? And then so Candice is like, please, it's enough money for me to leave town, please. And then so Veronica says, no, I'm done with all of this. I'm done playing nice. Girl, you know that I hate you at the end of the day, okay? Let's stop with all the niceties, okay? And then so Candice is like, whatever happened to you getting back at your husband? So Veronica is like, look, I got impatient. And so Candice is like, girl, what does that mean? Because you know we got a plan. Like, what's going on? So Veronica simply says, bang, bang, boom. Okay? Now, to me, that's either you done got them shot or you done blew them up. Okay? So next thing you know, Candice is like, what did you do? And so Veronica's like, girl, honey, I gotta go. Okay? And I need to make myself look sad. Okay? Click. So they get off the phone. And so at that point, Candice is like curious, like what is going on? What did Veronica do? What is bang, bang, boom? So then she immediately calls Erica. Now, y'all remember, Erica is Candice's like bottom B. So at this point, like every single time Candice calls Erica, no matter what, Erica picks up the phone, okay? Even if David is right there, Erica has pretended like Candice is her sister on several occasions. Now, at this point, Candice calls Erica and she doesn't pick up the phone. So that's a bit concerning to Candice, but she doesn't really have time to worry about that right now, okay? Now, mind y'all, I have DirecTV, so this freaking TV skip, so I don't even know what happened for like 2 minutes, okay? So fill me in after that part, okay? But when my TV got back on track, I see Erica and Benny in the hotel room, as I suspected they would be, okay? At this point, Benny was unbuttoning his shirt, and then he takes off his shirt, and then she's like, oh, and then he takes off his pants on top of that. So I'm like, okay, what conversation happened before this? Oh, the massage. Okay. So Benny lays across the bed, and then he's like, so then we have Gia goes and she straddles like on top of him. He's laying on his stomach. She straddles on top of him to start giving him a massage. And I'm like, girl, you think you're going to be able to hold him off with a massage and it's not going to turn into nothing? You know Candice told you don't sleep with her brother. You know that she will smack the living daylights out of you if she finds out you slept with her brother. But okay, so next thing you know, the massage lasted all of 10 seconds, like most massages last when you're on a bed, but whatever. And so Benny rolls over and Gia is like, what you doing? And so Benny is like, girl, don't play, you know what I'm doing. And she's like, oh, I can't. And I can't quickly turned into I can. I mean, I think she said I can't literally twice. And then like, I think in real life, like whoever Gia like really is, like she really wanted that, okay? Because she didn't fight it very hard, okay? So next thing you know, we see Mitch. So Mitch shows up to the Iron Bone, okay? This is the bar where Wyatt stabbed Uncle Vinny, okay? So he confronts Victor, which Victor is the bar owner. Victor is the guy that's telling everybody that Benny did it, okay? And he's claiming like, he was telling like one of the Malones that. And so Mitch is like, no, you're wrong. And so Victor is like, no, there's this black dude in here and he said that he knows you. And Mitch is like, yeah, he really does know me and you were wrong. So they were like, how do you know that he was wrong? He said, I talked to Uncle Vinny myself. I went down to the hospital and he told me to come up here and look through the ATM receipts that he leaves behind the counter and look at the most recent receipt. And that is how I will find out who did it. So they were like, you playing with me or not? Because you know that Mama Rose wants blood, okay? She wants Benjamin Young, okay? And so he's like, no, I promise you that's what Uncle Vinny told me. Okay, cool. So he goes and looks behind the counter, pulls out the receipt, and he's like, Wyatt Cryer. Okay. So he's like, so whatever y'all got on Benny, if y'all got a hit out on him, can y'all call that off? And they're like, it's a little too late for that. I could try to get in touch with the people, but Mama Rose was out for blood. So you might want to call your friend. Okay, so Mitch hurries up, calls Benny, okay? He wants him to lay low. He leaves him a voicemail to lay low. Why did he have to leave him a voicemail? Because Benny was already laying low with Gia, okay? Like literally laying on top of her. I mean, he wasn't just laying there. They was active, but I mean, you know, Benny got like a few chicks every season, okay? So at this point, he ain't paying attention to his phone, and he needs to. So Mitch is still calling him over and over, telling him like, hey, my family is after you. Lay low for now, okay? Please call me back. You know, we best friends again, okay? We brothers. I know that I was rude to you, but like we passed that, okay? So next thing you know, we see Wyatt, okay? Well, we hear Wyatt. So Wyatt is at the police station. Now, Justin works at the police station. He's sitting at his desk, and he hears like an inmate like yelling in the background. We automatically knew because Wyatt is always like yelling and crying wolf and acting like a baby and all that. We knew it was Wyatt yelling. Like he wanted somebody to come help him. Okay, so Justin asked one of his like fellow police officers, like where's that yelling coming from? Well, the police officer ignored him. So Justin was like, you ain't gotta be no butthole. And so the police officer was like, don't come at me because I saw your video and I already know that you're into buttholes. So like then the entire police station laughs. Now mind you, his captain and his mother did tell him that that video has like all of his co-workers, his fellow police officers, they have seen that video and they're gonna start like chitter chattering, and that's not really something they're going to accept, okay? Especially being that he had like a wife and a family and everything, okay? So at this point, Justin is irritated. The police officer walked away. He's just kind of trying to just like do his work and not be irritated, because he already knows when he gets off work, he's going to go find his boo Jeffrey anyway. So then next thing you know, y'all, this was one of the funniest parts of the episode. Like, the episode was a filler episode, but this part was hilarious, okay? So we see like a female police officer. She didn't laugh when all the rest of the men in the office laughed, okay? So she starts talking to Justin because he was feeling all alone. And she's like, don't worry about them. You know, we have to all stick together. And he's like, excuse me, what do you mean by we? And she's like, you know, LGBT. And he's like, well, I'm none of those letters. And I'm like, Justin, actually, you are Denial. Denial. Yes, you're in denial. That's exactly what you are. You were all of those letters because you are with Jeffrey. You love Jeffrey. You don't want your wife. You're in denial, okay? And so then the female police officer, she speaks up and she's like, well, there is Q for questioning, LGBTQ. And he's like, well, is there a P for piss off? Because you're really getting on my nerves. And he tells her to take your little alphabet soup over there and leave me out of it. And I'm like, Justin, come on now. Like, come on. Like, okay. So next thing you know, she's like, look, I'm just trying to help you. Justin gets mad because he don't want to help. He wants to live in like a fairy tale in his mind. And Jeffrey has told him a million times, like, dude, you're gay. And he's like, no, I'm not. Like, he like even tried to say he like women. And it's like, no, I think you just like Jeffrey. But whatever. And so next thing you know, Justin gets up. And he goes to go check to see who's yelling from the cell. He sees Wyatt in there. And this gives him like this like happy feeling inside. Like, oh my gosh, you're behind bars. As long as you're behind bars, you cannot get to my Jeffrey. You can't call him. You can't show up over his house. He can't come running for you. Like, oh my goodness. Today has just turned into a good day for me, okay? So he is in that jail outside of the cell, and he is taunting Wyatt, okay? He sees Wyatt, like, kind of has the shakes and stuff, and Wyatt is like, I need my drugs. I need my drugs. And remember, I think it was last episode or the episode before, Justin had showed up to Wyatt's like cell, like when he was in that padded room, and he was gonna like give him a bunch of drugs so that he could overdose. So Justin has the drugs available for him. So at that point, Wyatt was like, no, I don't want it. But now that he's in jail and he's going through withdrawals really bad, now he wants it. So Justin is like, I might get it. I might not. You need to beg for it. So Wyatt is like, I ain't too proud to beg. Like, please, like, dude, please get it for me. And so Justin is like, yeah. I'll be back. I'll go get it. And at this point, I don't know if he's really going to get it. I think he'll try to set Wyatt up again to like make it look like he intentionally like killed himself, but really Wyatt might be dead by the end of this season, mark my word, and it's probably going to be due to Justin, and then Jeffrey will hate Justin forever, but whatever. Okay, so then speaking of Jeffrey walks up to the bar where RK is bartending. Okay, so RK is like, you changed your mind. Now remember, last episode, RK was in Jeffrey's room, then Justin walks in, like, jealous boyfriend, get out, yada, 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 whatever. Okay, so Jeffrey was like, change my mind, what, to let you rob me? And so RK is like, I wasn't gonna rob you. I wouldn't do something like that. Was that guy that came up, like, was he your lover? And then so Jeffrey was like, dude, like, what did he do to you in jail? Because I already know the connection. Like, he took you out of the cell and into some room. Like, what happened? And so RK is like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, he just talked to me. Nothing happened. And I'm like, really? So at this point, Jeffrey is like, okay, well, I'm going to tell you what he did to me. Before I even knew him, he pulled me over one night, fondled me in the back of a car, and like really like made me feel violated. And then so RK is like, still didn't do nothing to me. Like, still in denial. So, they like continue to have small talk, yada, yada, yada. And he's trying to convince him that like he likes him, and he just wanted to convince him to give him his watch. He wasn't going to steal it. Okay. So up walks the fake Black Widow. Okay. I'm saying fake Black Widow because she already playing this role, and little do she know, David ain't dead, but okay, go ahead, play your role. Okay, so Veronica walks up and she orders a martini. Now, mind you, I totally forgot in this moment that Veronica is already very familiar with RK because Candice sent RK over to Veronica's house so she could get busy. But really, like, she just had like a whole like screaming match with David, and then like David slapped her, and like she like wouldn't like get with RK. Like, it was just, he knows her craziness at this point, okay? But he doesn't realize that Veronica and Jeffrey are connected to one another. Okay, so at this point, when Veronica walks up, Jeffrey is past this. He turns to RK and he's like, you don't happen to have a gun behind that bar, do you? And then so Veronica is like, oh, the girl graduated from knives to guns. And I'm like, Veronica, the shade. Okay. So Jeffrey is like, wow, like, this is crazy. How in the world do you always find me? And Veronica says, well, you know, I am still your mother. And that's when like RK started looking like, what? Y'all related? Okay, let me just walk away. Okay. This family drama is a small world. So she's like, well, I am still your mother, and we are still connected by the cord. And so Jeffrey is like, oh, well, I clearly need to cut that cord. And Veronica was like, oh, well, go ahead. You know what? Maybe you'll cut some of your feminine tendencies along with it. And I'm like, Veronica, you literally have nobody, and you're just evil. You're a witch. So next thing you know, Jeffrey is like, anyways, whatever. I don't care what you're saying. Your insults do nothing to me. Why are you wearing all this black? What is this about? So Veronica is like, I'm grieving. And Jeffrey's like, grieving what? She's like, well, I am grieving the death of my marriage. I'm grieving the death of my son, although you're still here, but I mean, you don't want to live your life the way I want you to live it, okay? So you're dead to me, basically. I'm grieving the death of Melissa. And so Jeffrey is like, oh, hold up, what did you do to Melissa? And then she's like, boy, bye, don't try to act like you care about her. You know good and well you don't like her. And anyway, she jumped off of Hannah's roof. So, yeah, she's dead and gone. And I told you she was unstable, okay? You should have listened to me. I'm like, Veronica, you're the one that set him up with Miss Crazy, but you made her Miss Crazy, okay? So next thing you know, Jeffrey tries to get up and leave, but she's like, honey, no, don't go. Like, I'm not done telling you what I'm grieving. And he's like, okay, go ahead. So she's like, your father. And he's like, where is my father? And she's like, oh, I don't know. And then Jeffrey's like, okay, so then why would you say that you're grieving him? And Veronica's like, I don't know what you're talking about, and starts drinking her martini because, you know, she likes to play mind games with Jeffrey. So then Jeffrey is like, bump this. He gets up, rushes away to get on his cell phone so that he can call his daddy. Well, his daddy always answers his phone calls, like always. But at this moment, it's going straight to voicemail. So Jeffrey is really concerned. He's leaving a voicemail like, Dad, please, please, please call me back. And this is really sad at this point because Jeffrey has a true, genuine relationship with his dad. And, David truly cares about Jeffrey. They are pretty much each other's only family. So when he finds out what Veronica did, Jeffrey, that crazy side of Jeffrey that they keep alluding to, we've seen bits and pieces of it. I think Jeffrey could possibly be the one to take out Veronica. And I think that that would be satisfying for me. Although she's a great villain for the show, but it would be satisfying because she's treated him the worst. And even though she blew up David's car and she set the house on fire, she has like really like messed with Jeffrey mentally like made him set him up to sleep with Melissa, like tried to control every aspect of his life, and then like put him in jail. Like she has like tortured him, and it's like been like a never ending cycle. So for that reason, I think that Jeffrey definitely deserves that kill, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so next thing you know, we see Jim. Jim walks into the county jail. He looking for his son. He want to talk to Wyatt. The police officer at the front desk was like, no, he can't have visitors. Jim was like, I'm his lawyer and I'm a judge, so you gonna let me talk to him. Okay, so perfect timing. The DA, George, walks out and was like, oh, Jim, what can I do for you? And so Jim is like, let's cut all this. First of all, you get out of our conversation. Police officer, walk away. Now, George, you know my son can't be up in here. You know he can't survive in here. And you know he didn't commit this crime. And George was like, well, on the contrary, there are 2 witnesses. Yes. Like, he did do this. So there's no way he's going to be able to get out of this. Also, we are closing in on you and your wife. I figured I'd give you the courtesy of knowing that. And then so Jim is like, well, you're not going to find anything. You're not closing in on anything because we're a good Christian family, okay? And we're innocent and we have not done anything. And I'm like, Jim, what do you think this is? April Fool's? Like, nobody believes you when you said that. Like, you're better off just saying nothing, okay? Like, boy, please do not say y'all are a good Christian family. Like, whatever. Okay, you're just a few notches below Veronica. So, next thing you know, the DA is like, okay, well, let's get on to more news that you're probably unaware of. I feel so sorry for you. This is a really sad day for you, you know, with your son being in jail and then with David being in the hospital. And then so Jim is like, wait, what? David is in the hospital. And then so the DA is like, oh, what, you didn't know? And so Jim is like, what happened? DA is like, look, I don't know what happened. So he was like, but maybe you should leave here and you should go see about your friend at the hospital. Okay, so of course, just like Jeffrey, Jim calls David, goes straight to voicemail, and David usually answers when Jim calls, and Jim left him a voicemail to give him a call back, let him know what's going on. Okay, so now at this point, we see Benny. Benny is walking through the lobby. He's doing the walk of shame, okay? He just left from Gia's hotel room, and he is walking out. He don't really need to go outside because at this point, I don't think he's checked his voicemail. I don't think he realizes that the Malones are after him, okay? So coincidentally, we see the fake Black Widow lurking in the lobby, okay? She's always around. So Benny is disappointed when he hears her say Benjamin because there's only 2 people that call him Benjamin, and that is his mother, and that is Veronica. And they are 2 completely different people. So he knows Veronica's voice. So Benny is just straight up like, what do you want? So Veronica says, boy, sit your nasty behind down. And so Benny is like, what do you want? Okay? I've had a lot going on. I'm like, Benny, like, you just got active. Like, you should be in a much better mood than what you're in now. Anyways, Veronica says, what was Melissa doing at your mammy's house? And then so Benny corrects her, that's not my mammy. That is my mother. And you know why she was there. She was there because you kicked her out of your house. Okay. So then Veronica is like, so have you been sleeping with her? Duh. You caught them sleeping together on your couch. Like, you think they didn't keep sleeping together? I mean, whether they did or not, like, you already know they slept together. Okay, so then Benny is like, look, I'm not answering none of your questions. Like, I'm cool on you. So Veronica is like, you better, or an officer will be at your house asking you questions. And so Benny is like, for what? Veronica is like, shoot, I don't know. I think of something. I'm like, Veronica. Like, she is the game maker, okay? This is Hunger Games. And she just, like, makes all these difficult games for everybody in her life. Okay, so he tells her, I'm done with you and your games. And Veronica's like, don't tell me you're done with me. He was like, you're crazy. Don't call me anymore. If you send somebody to my house, I'm going to show you what type of N-word, I really am. And y'all, I would say it, but I ain't got time for YouTube to be like blocking my videos and stuff, okay? So anyways, Benny is done with her. He walks away. Veronica been drinking, so she's just smiling. She left. She not tripping, okay? Benny is the least of her concerns right now. Okay, so then we have Candice. Candice is in the back of a black van with RK, and I'm like, dang, RK, when you just at the bar? Like, maybe you got off your shift. I don't know. So RK is trying to tell Malik to turn up the radio because he wants to hear the results of the presidential election because he wants Charles to win. And I'm thinking to myself, is RK the inside man for Landon? I don't know. What do y'all think? That's another unfinished storyline, but whatever. So Candice is like, no, turn that off. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so then Gia calls Candice and lets Candice know that Benny just left. And then, so Candice is like, dang, how long ago? Gia says 20 minutes ago. She said, girl, you stupid. Why didn't you call me 20 minutes ago? And I'm like, girl, because she was out of breath, okay? She was trying to pull herself together because her and Benny, they didn't got active. And I think she really like kind of like enjoyed that moment. So she had to give it 20 minutes before she called you. But whatever. So Candice just like hangs up on her like, this girl is stupid, whatever. So they see Benny pulling up to the house. So Candice hurries up. She calls Benny. She pretends like she's at the hotel and she needs him to come there immediately to talk to her. Not about the money, but about something else. Please hurry and come. So this is probably perfect anyway. I mean, well, as long as he's not out in public, but as long as he like is concealed in the hotel, that's good for his safety. Okay, so next thing you know, he like is mad, but he drives off. So when he drives off, Candice says, Malik, go. Okay, so Malik goes into Hannah's house. Meanwhile, Hannah is upstairs. She just got out the shower. She watching the election results. At this point, Charles seems to be winning, okay? Good thing Charles is coming back into the story. Okay, great value Obama, should I say. Okay, so her phone rings. It's her boo, Derek. He's letting her know that like, hey, I'm still working on this air conditioning unit. I didn't forget about you. I really want to see you. And Hannah's like, boy, bye. I'm going to sleep. He was like, but I miss you so much. And can I take you out on another date? Yada, yada, yada. And Hannah's like, actually, that would be really nice. But then she realizes her line is clicking. It's Catherine. Okay, so she gets off the phone with him, talks to Catherine, and Catherine is like, I heard what happened. Are you okay? And I'm thinking like, what did you hear? Well, then Hannah starts saying like, oh yeah, it was so sad, like everything that happened with Melissa, but like I'm good. And then so I'm like, okay, she's talking about the suicide, Melissa's suicide. Okay, so then Catherine says, like, I didn't even know you knew Melissa. And so Hannah's like, I really didn't. She was just connected through Benny and through Veronica. So, yeah. But if you would have seen, like, that girl, the hurt in her eyes, like, Veronica really did a number on her. But anyways, like, how are you doing? Like, you know, with Wyatt's whole situation. Catherine doesn't stay on it too long. She basically tells her she's conflicted. She feels tormented, but she'll be all right because she knows she did the right thing. Okay, they have small talk, yada, yada, yada. I'll see you tomorrow. Hannah is going to go to work at Catherine's house tomorrow. So right when she's about to get off the phone, she hears a noise downstairs. And so Hannah's like, perfect, that's Benny. I need to talk to him about something anyway. Girl, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. Okay, cool. Everything is good. They get off the phone. Hannah goes downstairs. She's not even looking around because she's comfortable in her house. So she's like, oh, Benny, I'm glad you're here. And opens her eyes, and it is a dude in all black with a hoodie on. And all he does is literally like run after her. She freaks out, runs, and he runs to grab her. Okay. So that is where the episode ends. That was like, that was a filler because we already saw that happening on the preview from last week. So like, give me something new, okay? If y'all need some writers, y'all can call me because I'm available, okay? But anyways, y'all let me know y'all thoughts, what y'all thought of this whole episode, what you like, didn't like, what you expect to happen in the future. We can have some great conversation below. And as always, please like this video. If this is your first time watching my channel and you're not a subscriber and you made it this far, what you wasting your time for? Go ahead and click that subscribe button, and I will be back tomorrow for the new episode or whatever day it comes out. Okay, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.